Doritos can turn skin invisible? It's not what you think, but also kind of is. Who would have thought that a junk food brand featuring products with names like Doritos Dinamata Stick, Smoky Chili Queso, artificially flavored corn snacks would come with questionable ingredients? This includes mystery items like flavor enhancers 621, 627, and 635 in the Thai sweet chili variety. That's in the Australian product line though. The US Doritos website doesn't disclose ingredients, presumably for what are totally trustworthy reasons. Also, possibly because Doritos make mice's skin transparent and might cause genetic mutations that cause cancer. So there's that.
Transparent.
Okay, at least one Doritos ingredient, yellow 5, turns mice's skin transparent and might cause genetic mutations that cause cancer and liver damage, kidney damage, enlarged hearts, missing limbs, or skeletal deformities in unborn babies because it's a neurotoxin, according to Verywell Health. In mice and rats, that is. In humans, the yellow 5 jury is still out, as long as you remember that yellow 5 might contribute to behavioral problems like ADHD, and as long as you remember that humans, rats, and mice are 95% genetically identical. But back to the see-through mice. As the Washington Post explains, it's not as simple as eat yellow 5, turn transparent as cellophane. Ingesting yellow 5 doesn't turn anything transparent. Rather, the presence of the dye on the skin recrafts light differently, which lets you see what's underneath. Surely, plenty of folks have gazed upon Doritos and thought, hey, these chips are like really, really yellow. That would be the yellow 5, technical name tartrazine, used everywhere to dye cereal, sauce, yogurt, shampoo, lipstick, vitamins, fabric, and much more, going back to the 1920s. Folks have been raising concerns about the dye's impact on health ever since. So why are we just learning about its translucent effects now? The answer is simple. Researchers at Stanford University set about directly testing tartrazine because they thought its particles might affect how light refracts. In their study, originally published on science.org, they cite the limitations of current imaging technology, things like X-rays, MRIs, CT scans, etc., and ongoing research into more deep tissue optical imaging methods, with ultra-techy names like 2-photon microscopy, near-infrared 2-fluorescence imaging, and optical tissue clearing. In short, the experiment worked way better than expected or hoped. As the Washington Post says, researchers physically applied tartrazine to the surface of mice by massaging it onto their skin. After only about 5 minutes, the mice's skin turned temporarily transparent to the point where the heart, blood vessels, muscle fibers, and more were clearly visible to the naked eye. No scalpel needed, no invasive procedures, no electronics, nothing. Christopher Rowlands from Imperial College London said that the dye allows for researchers to look 10 times deeper into tissue than otherwise possible. Some folks might be wondering how in the heck a simple food dye could refract light to the extent that it makes living tissue practically transparent. At least the topical application method answers the question of why nobody has discovered this till now. Nobody's gotten a full-body yellow 5 massage before, we assume.
What is that?
But really, there isn't anything at work besides simple optics. Light travels differently depending on the medium, i.e., what it travels through or strikes. Light in space, in a vacuum, strikes fewer objects than it does on Earth, with its atmosphere of oxygen, nitrogen, argon, carbon dioxide, etc. In general, gas and water make light travel slower and refract more than in space. The measurement of how light slows down in a given medium is called the refraction or refractive index. A higher refraction index means less scattered light. Certain substances are especially good at raising refraction indices.
It only works with Doritos.
Why only Doritos?
You ask too many questions, Billy.
So just by, quote, slathering mice in a common food dye like tartrazine, as science describes, we can create a thin chemical layer over the mouse that raises light's refraction index. Presto, translucent skin. Aside from cosmetic procedures like tattoo removal, medical applications include helping to locate tumors and blood vessels for withdrawals or injections. And for those concerned about the safety of a yellow 5 rub-down, researchers measured minimal systemic toxicity in the mice following the procedure. Just don't try this at home using Doritos.